Hey there, this is a shortened version of a live stream making an AI partner TeraRaid tier list for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You can use the timestamps to skip to a specific Pokemon or jump directly to the results. I do things like this live on my Twitch channel all the time. You can use the link in the doobly-doo to join the conversation next time. Into the video. All of these, what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate their moves, we're going to think about the consistency and how often they stick on the board. We're going to think about their typing, and we're also going to think about their ability. However, because typing of the opposing Pokemon and moveset is going to rotate constantly, and it's completely RNG to what AI partner you get, we can only put so much weight into that. That being said, we'll start off with Arcanine, right? So Arcanine has Intimidate. He's one of the few AI partners that actually have Intimidate. I value him pretty high, to be honest. I think he's really good. I think he's also pretty bulky, generally speaking. However, if he goes into the wrong type, he can be pretty awful. But I'd still rank him in the top tier. I would put him in the S tier. I think for Toxapex, it comes down to the fact that the water and poison typing is pretty good generally, but I also think the chilling water is really, really strong. So I think that we're gonna put it in this is good, right? I think that's fair. Arboliva, I really like this Pokemon. I think the healing gives you better action economy because you don't have to click into heal as often yourself, or a cheer or something like that. Whereas Intimidate really doesn't stop you from having to like click into that cheer or that heal, right? It doesn't do much differently besides nerf the damage, which they're outputting if they're using attack, but if they're not using attack, that really doesn't do much. So I think that I value the Seed Sower ability just a little bit more than Intimidators. So I think that that's actually probably going to be our #1, believe it or not, for right now. We'll see. Yeah, I think for me, Bellibolt Light Screen is really good, but I think that the issue is sticking to the board, and it doesn't tend to do that in my experience. So I think we're gonna... Because it also, the other thing is, I feel like it doesn't click into Light Screen very often. I feel like it clicks into Discharge or Mud Shot more often, right? So because of that, I feel like we should go with Don't Expect Anything. Yeah, I feel like that's a fair ranking. I don't know. I really love Dudunsparce. I think it's such a cool Pokemon, but I think that the ability is kind of a mismatch with the kit, and it doesn't really feel copacetic. It doesn't really, you know, it doesn't feel like it meshes well. It just doesn't sit right. So that being said, I think that we're just gonna put it in... Yeah, I think for me, for Staraptor, I think it's gonna be because you do damage yourself when you click in a Brave Bird, and Intimidate is strong nonetheless. Feather Dance is also strong, but like it again doesn't really mesh super well. I think it deserves I guess we're here because it has the possibility to do pretty good, but it just, I don't know. I feel like I see these things put in mad work. I'm not even gonna lie to you, right? I'm gonna be entirely honest. So I don't think it does as much work as Arcanine, but I think it does do mad work. So I think it should go, this is good. I think it should, yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, I think it's gonna sit right behind Toxapex. Drifblim, right? Entirely biased. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna disproportionately rank this Pokemon entirely. No shame at all. Don't give a shit. Totally okay. So, Will-O-Wisp, I think A, that's busted, and B, Shadow Ball hits the fuck out of everything. C, this thing is cute. D, it's the coolest Pokemon and steals people's souls. E, it's got Aftermath. F, it's got Ghost and Flying type, right? So, yeah, take that as you will. I don't know, I feel like it should sit right behind Tauros, right? I feel like Umbreon is real good. It's got Dark Pulse, Thunder Wave, Psychic. The ability Synchronize is real nice, so I think it should sit right there. I feel like that's fair. Life Dew is real strong, but you never see it use it. Very rarely. Dazzling Gleam and Psyshock, both strong. I think for Gardevoir, I think we're gonna say... I guess we're here. I think it'll rank above Staraptor. I think that's a fair ranking. Again, if it was a player, I feel like it would do better, but I don't know. The AI doesn't do a whole lot with this Pokemon. Corviknight. I really like Corviknight as a support when it's controlled by a player. Not too fond of Corviknight as an AI. Doesn't really do much. I think this is going to be our first next try, right? I feel like that's our first next try. There's much better options. Sylveon can put out mad damage depending on what it's going against with Moonblast, right? It also has Charm, but I feel like the AI doesn't really utilize Charm super much. Pixelate does make everything like Quick Attack, you know, a fairy move, which is like super cool, but I don't know. I've seen Sylveon put in work sometimes though, so I'd say Sylveon can go in the top of I guess we're here, right? I feel like that's a fair ranking because it goes, right? It's got Mega Horn, which is its big bug move, right? So that will get extra 50% damage, which it can crank out some serious damage if it's low. But that being said, it's going to end up dying nonstop, and that's just kind of meh. So I think it kind of like counterbalances itself, and I feel like you could put this in the top of don't expect anything, because if it does pull off some you're like, whoa, but when it doesn't do anything, it's just kind of, all right, you're here, cool. Like, the Purifying Salt is really strong on Garganacl, but I feel like the Rock Slide and Rock Tomb both having a 95 accuracy and Heavy Slam just kind of being an unknown as far as, like, damage calculation, I think this is just gonna be... I say we'll put it here because if it does do stuff, it's super cool, but if it doesn't, it's just kind of whatever, don't expect much. I feel like Mudsdale is really well equipped for the right situation, but because the AI partners are completely random and we can't choose our AI partners, it just doesn't do much. So I feel like it's gonna have to go into the bottom of next try. Yeah, I think it's... Okay, so Weavile is gonna go in the back of this is good because Pressure is like, okay, whatever, but you have Night Slash and Ice Punch, which are both stab moves, and Ice Punch, if it does freeze and goes off, it's gonna do mad work, right? So I think that the back of this is good is really, really fair for that. You can do whatever you want with this. But I want to let you know that Haxorus is f***ing awful. And Dylan is the worst AI goddamn trainer in the f***ing game. And I don't give a shit what anyone says. You're wrong, and you're entitled to your wrong opinion. So Clodsire, cool, right? It's cool that it can poison, but because you can only have one status move at a time, if it pairs up with something else like Weavile or Drifblim, which is gonna Will-O-Wisp or something like that, I feel like the poison point is kind of meh, and the Toxic also overlaps with that really hard for no reason. Poison Jab does poison as well, so that kind of overlaps again. Stomping Tantrum, good, but I feel like it just doesn't do enough. It can be, I feel like it does better than these other ones, so I feel like we could go to the top of next try. All right, so there you have it. This is our AI Terra Partner tier list. I don't know what's my outro? I didn't even think about that. I just went into it. That's terrible planning. I'll figure that out at a later time and date. I'll deal with that later.